The 911 heroes need help too. And recently it was posted that throughout 2026, six of our own have lost their lives by their own doing. And we need to figure this out. And a friend of mine said to me earlier, it's six, but it's six too many. And, for years, we have been talking, sharing these stories, opening up. And I've been traveling to different dispatch centers for the past couple of years and talking about communicating together because we're the ones who understand what this is all about and we're the ones who are going to be able to get through this. Just like short staffing, the issue of suicide in 911 dispatch, it's not going to be taken care of by legislation. Don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. Um it's that will help in certain aspects, but it's not gonna fix the problem. It's us continuing to talk to each other, but also not be scared to talk to each other about these hard things, these hard conversations, these using the word suicide because it happens. It's not as publicized as law enforcement or fire or EMS or anything else like that. But we need to continue to talk about this. I mean, there's some people out there who, for whatever reason, feel that mental health and wellness has become sort of like buzzwords. And some people do use it that way. But the conversation needs to continue. And I have heard that there are some people out there who are tired of talking about mental health and wellness. And a lot of times, at least in my experience, those that scoff or say certain things, it's because they're the ones who have the most problems. But when they're ready, they can face it. So we start by opening up and sharing our stories, by talking through these things and feeling comfortable to talk with each other. But where do we go from there? That's step one, right? And myself and a lot of other folks getting people to open up and share. I'm going to continue to do that regardless because it is therapeutic and it has helped people not feel alone and has helped people come together and connect, build a deeper bond together. But in continuation, where do we go from there? And I know this is a much deeper conversation and I'm not trying to bring anything down, so don't don't get it that way. It's just there's a lot of people here right now and I want to say this because it's important. These are our folks. These are people that come from where we come from. And I know that there's not just one answer, and it's a huge undertaking. But we are going to be the only ones to do this. And we need to be the ones to care about each other. Some places do this already, others have places where people are struggling. And it fucking sucks. I'll just be blunt about it. It fucking sucks. I have no idea what the circumstances are of those folks that passed. It could be anything. But we need to figure out a way to, I don't know, somehow get some big study or something that's going on. We can't go off of the stuff that is there now. And when these things come out, to honestly answer them versus how do you feel on a 1 to 5 about this. Do you agree or strongly agree or disagree? Strongly agree or strongly disagree? Like, there needs to be some more explanation. Needs to be a little more in depth. So you don't have to answer here right now, but at any time within this platform or my email address or anything like that, if you ever have any ideas or any thoughts about this on what more can be done, please let me know. Because myself and my good friend that I was talking to earlier today, you know who you are, and you're in here. We're trying to figure this shit out because, yeah, 6 is too many. And a friend of mine told me years back, a couple years ago, two friends, Aaron and Cinnamon. There are too many of us to feel alone, but yet we still do, in a way. So just know if you're listening or watching this right now and you're struggling, please reach out. And also for others, if you haven't heard from someone in a while or they are, I don't know, maybe you have that dispatcher gut feeling, just ask if they're okay. You will most likely get the, yeah, of course, I'm all right. Ask again, or are you sure? Because sometimes that second ask, that are you sure, might be the moment that that person feels like someone actually gives a shit about them and they open up. We can do this together. We can get through this. So I just wanted to say that really quick because, it's been on my mind. And I'll say this too. My friend Keely and I, in partnership with Rapid SOS, we have been doing this broadcast called Most Important Seconds. It has to do with the show The Pit, which is a medical drama. But what we do is we connect technology. We imagine what it was like in 911 going through to when it gets to the hospital. And the reason I bring this up during this piece is because one of the most recent episodes, there is a student doctor who ends up making a mistake and someone passes away. And it was simply that he went through everything, checked everything off the boxes. But there was one thing that wasn't as common, so he didn't think to ask. And the person ends up passing away. And he's sitting in the ambulance bay, blood all over him after being in surgery with everyone else, and just staring into the void. And another student doctor comes out who has a few more years than he does, right? And sits next to him. And to me, that was a depiction of what we say as sitting in the mud with someone. He asks if he's okay, and he goes, "Yeah, yeah, I'm okay." And he's like, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Does it ever get any easier?" And before he answers, he tells him a story, which is what we do, what we have been doing, what I try to do with a lot of folks. And what I do is never going to change. I'm going to continue the I am 911 movement. I'm going to continue sharing stories and helping people share because, again, it's therapeutic. It's the power of storytelling. But this character ends up telling him, when I first started, there was this patient. And he goes through the scenario and says the patient passed away. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get through this, but, I did. I'm still here. And the other doctor says again, "Does it get any easier?" And he goes, "No, it doesn't get any easier." But he goes, "You find a balance and you accept that death happens, but you find that balance with the good things that happen." And I've said in the past that even though we have some of these calls that are not the result that we want. We can find that balance in the light and the dark, but in the sense that we were there for that caller and they were not alone. Again, even though it's not the outcome that we wanted, we can at least give ourselves some grace and reflect on the fact that we were there for that person because they could have gone through that alone, but you were there. And from there, we have each other. So that's why I bring that up because watching just that scene alone, I thought, wow, this is I almost felt like it was exactly what I needed to see because then I was questioning a little bit like it by like everything that I've been saying, has it been wrong? Is it even helping? And then after seeing that, I thought, you know what? That kind of also that's what I do. That's what a lot of people have been doing, and that's talking and just basically communicating with each other. And that's what we need to do more. So the storytelling continues. The I'm 911 movement continues. And we just need to be here for each other the best as possible and support each other. Again, if you ever need anything, please reach out. If you haven't heard from someone in a while, reach out to them. Okay. The comments have been quiet, so hopefully hopefully I'm making sense. Um I will say the one doctor that sat with the other one to help him feel better and talk through it. And you could tell the other doctor needed that. But the one who was telling the story, he ends up trying to he helps out a patient and he says, I could use the good karma. He was doing something good. And then it turned out that the person that he got a lift for, he ended up getting like a $200 charge and a complaint. And it's like, that's emergency services for you. You do something good and then that happens. So it was pretty hilarious. All right. Um, we're getting to the giveaway here, and I'm glad that you are all here still and that you could hear me out because it is a very important issue. And I know that, things are gonna continue to be talked through and we can definitely do something to change a lot. And a lot of it again is through communication, us sharing our stories and continuing to move on from there. How we take care of each other and support each other from that. But more needs to be done. And we're going to continue to raise all of this so that more can be done.